Hey guys, so good evening and welcome. Well, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. For me, it's good afternoon. My name is Julie Watts and I'm a triple diamond with ASEA. I've been with the company for 5 years and has totally changed my life. So if you're here for the first time, especially today, a really big welcome because you are about to hear some amazing news. So this afternoon we have 3 sections. We have the ASEA Redox breakthrough with the amazing Stevie Aquilina, and then a very powerful testimonial from the wonderful Dan Doyle, and then a little bit about the business from Stevie again. And of course, we really need people to share this information and this technology with the world. So hopefully you'll consider joining us. And then after that, we'll have a Q&A, and please pop your questions in the chat box. And if we have time at the end, we will definitely try to answer your questions. Please don't ask any specific medical questions. We can't really answer those in this arena. So let's get started, and let me first introduce Stevie Aquilina. Stevie is a platinum executive with ASEA. He's been with ASEA for about the same time as me, around 5 years or so. Him and his lovely wife, Sarah, now live on the sunny Gold Coast in Queensland. They homeschool their 4 boys. They work with ASEA full time, and they are truly passionate and well-loved leaders in ASEA. And they really do believe in the, bettering people's lives and being a force for good in the world. So please, without further ado, let me introduce the amazing Stevie Aquilina, and he's going to share some incredible news with you. So take it away, Stevie.
Great. Thank you very, very much, Julie. Million electricity watts. This always feels weird to me. I should be introducing you. And I think that because we didn't get to do last week's, I think because of Thanksgiving, but I need to say a big shout out to you, big congratulations, a big well done for your entry into the $1 Million Earners Club. So
thank you.
Another reason I should be introducing you. So
I'm sure you're hot on my heels. You should be.
Thanks so much. No, really great to be here with you and with everyone. So thank you very much for spending some of your time with me. And I don't intend to waste it because it is incredibly valuable, because if you paid money to be here and you didn't like what I had to say, I could give you your money back, but your time's not something I can refund to you. So again, thank you very, very much for sharing it with me. I do appreciate it. So I hope you're all doing very well. My family and I, we live in Australia, as Julie said. Why isn't my screen moving? We originally came from Sydney. But yes, now we live on the Gold Coast, which is a dream come true when we can make that happen. We're minutes from beautiful beaches, mountains, rainforests, coastal cities, theme parks. We absolutely love it. I'm very, very blessed with my life, income, time, and freedom that allows me to enjoy a great lifestyle with my family that has taken us to many parts of the world now that were once way too far out of our reach. But good vibes and good times have not always been around. I was a difficult child to parent in school and never made the grades. I was often told I was stupid and useless. I guess if you're told something often enough, by the way, and if you're young and impressionable enough, you're most likely probably going to start to believe it. Later, I became a teenage runaway and a high school dropout. And with that kind of thinking, I walked myself way off track on life's journey throughout my teens and 20s. I had more than 20 different jobs in less that time. For over a decade, I was a very dumb but very good-looking bouncer in what used to be the most popular nightclubs in Sydney. Okay, kidding about the good looking, but probably not about the dumb. But really, honestly, I wanted to be more, do more, have more, but really I wanted to give more. I had big dreams, but very little self-esteem. Physically, I've always been athletic, still am today, mainly in martial arts. But back then I had health troubles, autoimmune disorder, inflammatory issues, severe skin, respiratory, and gut conditions. Most of my life, lots of bad injuries. Bad ones. Financially, I got myself stuck in go nowhere jobs with hopes going nowhere, no prospects, no financial security, no financial dignity. Being behind, I've had the phone, electricity, gas cut off. Not been able to run my car on anything more than petrol fumes. I've not been able to make the rent. I've been evicted. I mean, no financial dignity. I always believed in possibilities. Problem, I doubted my potential. I was trapped, unfulfilled, unhappy, frustrated, because I wanted to be more. I wasn't able to be who I wanted to be. But something very, very fortunate happened to me. First thing, I met the girl of my dreams. And right then and there was motivated more than ever before to become more. She believed in me and often told me that I was more. And that was a big deal, I guess, if you're told something often enough. Second very fortunate thing that happened to me, I was introduced to this company's life-changing breakthrough, opportunity, and training. The company leaders are extremely successful people. You're going to hear from, you've already heard from one of them, and you're going to hear from another one of them today, two of them today. They believed in me too and taught me how to believe and become more. And so fast forward to today, instead of having health and wealth problems, I solve them because of this life-changing breakthrough. Instead of financial insecurity and indignity, I have security and dignity because of this life-changing opportunity. And instead of being trapped, unfulfilled, unhappy, frustrated, I now live well. I now have more with the ability to believe and become more because of this company's training, which has shown me a life-changing better way. And now I want nothing more than to better people's lives in at least any one of these life-changing ways too. So first, what I'm going to be sharing with you is the most significant health and life science breakthrough of our lifetime. Medical experts say this is a very big breakthrough, greater than the discovery of DNA or penicillin. For 2 decades, science had declared this was impossible. It's a breakthrough with enormous potential, proven by renowned universities and world-leading laboratory medical studies, very advanced breakthrough, 15 years ahead of its time. Any health goals or challenges you can think of, remarkable results. And drug companies wanted it shut down, but more about that a little later. Before I tell you what this is, let's be clear about what this is not, because this is nothing like anything else you've ever seen before. What we'll be talking about goes well beyond drugs or nutrition, well beyond any type of ingredients or technology you already know about. Because what I'm about to show you is an entirely new frontier in science that is truly groundbreaking and a category creating healthcare breakthrough. The ASEA Redox cell signaling technology is a drink that contains active redox signaling molecules. What are those? Redox signaling molecules are made by your cells. So they are in your body. They are native to your body. They are your cellular messengers that affect your cell-to-cell communication and operation and your genetic expression in a positive way. Redox signaling is a remarkable process because it is the actual process that empowers your body to heal itself by telling your cells how to protect healthy cells, repair unhealthy cells, and replace damaged cells. Redox signaling molecules are also your body's activators for your immune system to protect against bacteria, viruses, and infection. Redox signaling is what keeps cells functioning and healing at optimal levels. Why is this so important? Because we are all made all of cells. We live and die at the cellular level. Healthy cells means a healthy body and a healthy life. Redox signaling molecules are the keys to life. They are essential for the activation and function of our normal physiology. All of our body's major systems, biochemical and physiological processes critically depend on redox signaling. Critically, because if all of your cells were to suddenly stop making redox signaling molecules right now, you wouldn't live longer than just a few more seconds. Without your redox signaling molecules, life ends. And so if our body already makes redox signaling molecules, why do we need to give our bodies more? Well, when we're born, we do make an abundance of redox signaling molecules. That's generally why children have so much energy, how they can run around all day and not wake up sore the next, and how they can bounce back so quickly from an injury or illness. However, as we age, along with stress, diet, toxins, and all sorts of other environmental assaults, our cells break down and our body's ability to make redox molecules declines daily. Without as many redox signaling molecules giving clear cell signals, our whole cellular protection, function, and healing process becomes slow. Our cells break down more and more, and so does our health, wellness, youth, and vitality. ASEA takes science seriously and is highly committed to ongoing research with renowned universities and world-leading laboratories, allowing these outside and independently reviewed studies to prove the potential of ASEA Redox signaling supplements, demonstrating the safety and efficacy of the ASEA Redox products, certifying them as safe and effective in every body. And ASEA is within a very real and significant space of science. Redox is based in Nobel Prize winning research. Since the first Nobel Prize was awarded to these three professors back in 1998 for the first discovery of redox signaling molecules, there have now since been multiple Nobel Prizes awarded for research in this field. If you went along to pubmed.gov, which is where all peer-reviewed medical studies are published, and you typed in redox signaling, you would see well over 33,000 results. There are more than 1,500 medical textbooks that have been published on redox signaling, and this slide will already be out of date, with around 150 studies coming out almost every single month. And so according to medical researchers, as well as reported in this article from the Huffington Post, redox signaling is one of the fastest emerging fields in science that will shape all of our lives in the coming years. There are now multiple universities who've received tens of millions of dollars in grants to open up redox research centers. There are now global medical conferences and congresses being held about redox. Medical doctors are specializing in redox, with one such professor, a doctor at Harvard Medical School, who has a PhD and title that includes Director of Redox Medicine. And ASEA is already light years ahead. ASEA redox users enjoy cell signaling benefits. Now that translates to health at its most foundational level. Here's just one example. ASEA redox has been scientifically tested and shown to signal the activation of genetic pathways and affect genes that improve immune system health, help maintain a healthy inflammatory response, help maintain cardiovascular health and support arterial elasticity, improve gut health and digestive enzyme production, and modulate hormone balance to support vitality and wellness. These genes are key in the health of every individual. They play a vital role, not just in the 5 mentioned human health areas, but also in dozens of additional genetic pathways. Moreover, ASEA redox has been scientifically tested and shown to enhance your body's own production and efficiency of antioxidants by up to 800%. Further studies show that ASEA lowers oxidative stress. The head professor of this university study saying that one of the most important effects of ASEA on what he called disease risk factors is its ability to reduce oxidative stress. Now, this is significant because all degenerative health conditions are caused by oxidative stress. And from rigorous toxicology studies, ASEA is proven to be 100% safe, 0% toxicity. Why? Because redox signaling molecules are native to your body. They're already in you. Your body already makes them. It's just that now your body can't make as much of them as it used to be able to when it was younger or healthier. And so if you have health challenges, or if you have people that you care about who do, if you have a wish that you could look, live, and feel young again, if you have the very good sense for protecting your health because you don't want to become old and unwell, if you have a goal of having higher levels of human performance, greater athleticism, better in sport, bigger and stronger in the gym, any health goal you can think of, redox users and medical doctors are seeing just remarkable results, but you don't need to take my word for it. Here are some medical doctors. Let's all listen to what they have to say right now.
Redox signaling molecules are like the DNA whisperer. They signal cells to be healthy. And because of age, because of medications, because of toxicity in the environment, you lose your ability to make the redox signaling molecules. So having them with ASEA simply replenishes what your body is doing natively when you were young. You know, I've been in the business for 40 years, and this is the first time that I've ever heard about the redox signaling molecules, which to me is a breakthrough of the 21st century, akin to the electric light bulb in the 20th century and maybe even the discovery of penicillin. Because your body is a redox signaling program, and to be able to replenish it on a day-to-day basis, internally and externally, is not just a breakthrough, it's a game changer.
Health is something we have to earn. What can I do to get to the root of things and really prevent problems from happening? Is it possible? And the answer is yes.
You know, I think most people don't actually really consider their health until it's gone. So it's the choices that we make today that are going to determine the level of our wellness and our health and our healthy longevity tomorrow.
We want to keep people healthy. We don't want to see that deterioration. The whole process of the anti-aging and regenerative medicine that I'm so passionate about is on the premise that we can maintain energy, we can maintain health.
So prevention is key, but people need to value it, and people need to understand what it is and take responsibility.
Inside every cell in your body you're constantly producing negative and positive molecules called oxidants and reductants. And the contraction of that name is redox.
So with these molecules, we're amping up that communication. We're helping that cell signal.
Without these cell signaling molecules, we simply wouldn't do the gene replication that we need, the DNA sequencing that we need. These redox signaling molecules interact throughout the body with every cell that we know.
Every cell in our body needs these molecules for communication purposes. The more balanced they are, the more abundant they are, the healthier we are.
ASEA actually has the combination of the oxidants and the reductants that the body makes. So all we're doing with ASEA is enhancing what the body is already doing.
Having a product, a technology that's native to the body doesn't have to worry about detoxifying it because it knows exactly what to do with redox molecules. It's one of, if not the safest recommendation I ever make to a patient.
They found a way to stabilize them outside the body. And you can actually put them back into bodies that are deficient in those molecules. That's a game changer.
To have something that at its molecular level is native to the body is nothing short of a breakthrough.
This is something that's foundational for health, for every cell. It affects every cell in our body. And not just the cells, but the very DNA within those cells. You know, we talk about the discovery of DNA as being a huge breakthrough, the discovery of penicillin. Yes, these were absolutely huge discoveries, but now we have something that actually goes even deeper.
This is where the future lies, and this is why redox chemistry and supplements that employ this are so powerful.
They literally turn on and turn off, signal every single process in every living cell. And to be able to stabilize a product that allows us to replenish that is just a phenomenal breakthrough.
This has the capability to change the landscape of the healthcare system as we know it.
So now that we have spoken about cellular health from the inside out, let's show you what's possible from the outside in. And that's made possible by ASEA's topical versions of Redox technology. They are Renew 28 Redox Gel and our Intensive Redox Serum. These Redox technologies are supported and enhanced by their complementary all-natural ingredients products. They are our Gentle Refining Cleanser and Ultra Replenishing Moisturizer. But a picture is worth 1,000 words. So let's just show you what our Redox technologies are worth with these amazing health, anti-aging, and age-reversing results. Lines and wrinkles are smoothed out. Elasticity comes back to the skin. Skin blemishes and spots, irritations, inflammations, aggravations, other signs of poor health to the skin, being rejuvenated. Even the aftermath of some of these unfortunate conditions coming back to the proper surface of the skin. This is Rosie. The dramatic difference you're seeing in the first two pictures on the left couldn't be seen by Rosie, could not be seen because she didn't take those pictures. Rosie actually believed that the products were not working. Rosie went to see her doctor. That's who told Rosie about ASEA and who took these pictures. And when Rosie told the doctor that the products didn't work, the doctor showed her these pictures. And I guess the rest of the story can be seen here. Now, everyone says that they want to see how ASEA goes, but Rosie missed those changes by not taking pictures, and you may miss it too. So please take pictures, because that's how you see how it goes. And for anything that you can't take a picture of, keep a written record instead. Before your ASEA arrives, make a list of everything about your health. Energy, stress, sleep, digestion, mental focus, muscle comfort, joint comfort, endurance, workout recovery, any specifics about your health you want to track. And each item, give it a score from 1 to 10, 10 being very good. And then do this again after 7 days, 30, 60, 90 days, and so on. Now, some people notice results early on, like Rosie. However, other people need to apply more product, more time, more patience, generally when there's more going on with their health. What we know scientifically is that redox molecules are redox molecules. They're the same in you as they are in me, as they are in animals and plants, and exactly the same as they are in ASEA products. They're all precisely the same. Studies show that ASEA redox products have an immediate positive effect. They work in every single person, every single time. It would be scientifically impossible for them to not work in you or hurt you. But what does differ from person to person is the time it takes them to notice the change. This doctor did a little experiment of his own on his very own face and used Renew 28 on only half of his face and not the other. Can you spot the difference? Renew 28 is not just for the face, arms, hands, bellies, buttocks, thighs, and all over. These pictures here are actually from a study by a world-leading laboratory. This study was done because there were many stories coming in from all over the world from people saying that their cellulite had disappeared while they were using Renew 28. And so scientists set upon double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical trials to see, was there any truth to these stories? What they found was, after just 12 weeks, there was a 16% reduction in the appearance of cellulite. And when scientists did ultrasounds to try and discover why this was happening, they saw the subcutaneous fat that was causing the cellulite was actually being dissolved from the use of Renew 28. So Renew 28 helps reduce the appearance of cellulite and wrinkles, enhancing skin texture, smoothing the skin, supporting surface skin cell renewal, not only for visibly younger looking skin, healthier skin. Renew 28 helps soothe skin discomfort after shaving or sun exposure. And Renew 28 is not just for the skin, it also helps soothe discomfort around the body. Now you can know about it in about 10 minutes. If you have some discomfort around your body, rate that discomfort on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most discomfort. Apply Renew 28 on that point of discomfort 3 times within 5 minutes. And usually 9 to 10 out of 10 people will notice a soothing or reduction of discomfort within approximately 10 minutes. Now, nothing that I've said here today has been intended to diagnose anything that you're going through, and ASEA does not claim to treat or cure any diseases. Julie, I'll hand it back to you because I'm really excited to hear from our special guest today.
Cool. Thank you very much, Stevie, for that wonderful explanation of ASEA's Redox technology. So next, guys, I would really love to introduce a gentleman who's been a friend of mine for some time, and he has an incredible story to share with you. Dan Doyle has built and sold many, many, many conventional businesses in his life. And life was going absolutely great for Dan and Suzanne, his lovely wife. But as it does, life sometimes can send you a curveball, and you're going to hear about that shortly. Dan has very quickly built an incredible ASEA business. He is one of the top leaders in ASEA, and certainly top 3 income earners in the whole company. So he has had an incredible journey, and so I'm going to hand over to Dan so that I don't spoil it for him and say too much. So Dan, can we, I'll say something after we're finished.
Not letting you get away with it that easy, Julie. People hear my story every week, every day on these calls, and you've got an incredible story. Just love you to talk. When it comes to health and financial, give us a rundown. I love hearing your story, and there's a lot of people on this call that haven't heard it. So if you don't mind. Okay.
All right. So, well, I was introduced to ASEA for a skin condition that I had. I had a lot of abnormal cells on my face. A lot of you may have seen my story, my photos at some point in ASEA Healthy Self. They are in there. My life changed the day I was introduced to that product. It totally changed my health. I haven't had an abnormal cell cut out of my skin since the day I started using that, and I was having that done on a very, very regular basis up till then. I also had a massive amount of inflammation in my body, had a lot of health challenges, and basically over the next 9 months, so I used the gel first, and it totally changed my life. And I thought, wow, if the gel can do that, that supplement must be pretty amazing. I started.
You look like porcelain, by the way. Now.
I didn't before.
No.
I started using the supplement because I figured it must be pretty special. And basically over the next 9 months, like, it wasn't overnight for me. I had a few things that happened early on, like a clearer head and more energy, and just felt fabulous. in the first little while, but basically 9 months in, my life totally changed. My discomfort left my body. I got off several medications that I had been on for a very long time. And, you know, ASEA hasn't cured or, you know, anything for me. What it did was dealt at a genetic level with my inflammation that was in the body. All of the things I'm talking about were caused from inflammation. You know, you have inflamed cells, then you're not well. So that was me. And then on the financial side of things, again, life hit us with a bit of a curveball, not health-wise at that time, but financially, we kind of had worked for the 40 years, you know, to retire on 40% of our income and all that kind of stuff. And we had worked really hard, Graham and I, for a long time. I'd owned several businesses. Then I'd been in charge of a real estate sales office. And we basically, our retirement was property. We had started to accrue property. And then there was a massive, massive downturn in the place that we have all our property. And it was totally unexpected. And our properties lost value, some of them 80% of what we paid for them. So that is a massive, massive loss. And we were truly, and the rents dropped just as much. So we were looking down the barrel at having to spend, you know, the next God knows how many years working. And my husband is now 66 and certainly in retirement age, and our dream of living, you know, on the sunny coast, on the golf course for him just kind of went out the window. And now, thanks to ASEA, we live in a beautiful home on the golf course, on the Sunshine Coast. He gets to play golf whenever he feels like it. And I get to do what I love to do, which is, my passion is ASEA. So I spend all of my time doing this and sharing ASEA, and I love every second of it. And if you love what you do, it's not a job. I don't feel like I have a job at all. I never feel like I have a job, but ASEA has totally changed our life in both those ways.
I remember, you know, when you're doing real estate and putting so many hours in and trying to survive and going through that period, you did this, you built this parallel. I mean, you actually built this business on the side that eventually well and truly overtook the income you were earning from real estate. But I mean, how's that journey with, because, you know, I look back and I'm thinking to myself, if I was to do this and I was in traditional business or I had a job, I don't know if I could have done it, but you did an amazing job. How is that actually doing that on the side?
I guess one thing with real estate is that it does allow you a little bit more freedom. Like, I wasn't tied to a specific job, as in, like, I couldn't leave a premises or something during the day. With real estate, you're out and about, you know, talking to people, and you can kind of schedule appointments and stuff. So I guess that helped. But I just worked really long hours. Like, I did all of my job and I did everything with ASEA on top of that and kind of fitted in and did a lot of night work. And, but, you know, very quickly, I loved my ASEA job and just didn't want to be doing real estate anymore. I was like, oh God, I really don't want to do this. And yet I used to love it, but, you know, my love for ASEA very quickly took over that. And so I got out of there when I could, so that I could go full time.
So I work really hard with people to out earn what they're earning in their job or their traditional business. So just one more quick one. How long did it take you once you made a decision to out earn what you were earning in real estate through ASEA?
When I really made a decision and started to go for it, about 18 months, I guess. And
that's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing. And then
it's totally possible. It's totally possible. If you have the want to do it, anybody can do it. Anybody can.
Absolutely.
I didn't even finish high school. So I don't even have a high school diploma.
I dropped out too, and Stevie didn't have a good run either. So if we can do it, anybody can do it. Yeah, for sure. All right, thanks for sharing. We'll come back to you soon.
Welcome.
I'll share my screen and touch on my story, but we want to hear from Julie. That's such a high impact story. And Julie's one of many, many, many individuals that have not only regained health, improved health, but also changed her whole financial situation. A lot of people that were down and out in ASEA adopted this for their health, but end up moving into or evolving into them sharing this with others and building the business as well. Something that I would have never entertained because I couldn't stand the network marketing business model. But I can tell you, and I'll never change anything that I went through to get to where I am today and be able to help people the way we can. So just to touch on, and I'll just take the video off there, and to reiterate what Stevie said with a few things, we've got a product of technology, something that's nothing can compare or compete to ASEA, to Redox, to this breakthrough technology. Whoever's got you onto this call, if you're new, they have handed you an incredible gift. I would say one of the, if not the best gifts that you could receive in your entire life. Going into my story, just to reiterate what Stevie said, with our disclaimer that these products are not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. We have got a technology that can help, that can empower, that can get the body to where it is to heal itself, to detect the problems in our body, to signal our body to where those problems are. So I'll breeze over my story a little bit quicker, and then we'll get back into the presentation with Stevie. I grew up in Sydney, Australia. This is my last sport, bodybuilding, after playing rugby and doing judo, gymnastics, aerobics, surfing for many years, distracting myself from school. I was in the health and fitness industry. I had my own gym at this time in my early 20s. And like Stevie and Julie, dropped out of school. And to date, never read a book in my life. I just haven't had time for it. If I set my sights on something, I just go and do it, and all self-taught. I never let school get in the way of a good education, and was very successful, not only in sports, but also in traditional business. This was the start of building 20 traditional businesses over 20 years, employing about 3,500 people. Fast forward from 24 to 44, this is me still keeping fit and healthy, not a bodybuilder anymore, but coming to the end of me being an entrepreneur. And the reason for that is because in 2011, 6 months after this photo, I lost my health. Lost my health due to flipping properties and using the weed killer Roundup from Monsanto. You might want to do some research on what that does for an individual. Had a horrendous life-threatening issue, as a matter of fact, 2 of them, and I started hospital visits. 2.5 years of these hospital visits where I lost all my hair from the top of my head to my toes. And what I went through, I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. I actually wanted to die going through what they put me through. This is a young friend of mine, Johnny Manor, 21 years old in this photo. He played the highest levels of rugby in Australia. And he was in remission at this point. He'd been through all those hospital visits that I had started. And he went back to playing rugby. And after this photo, his issue came back. He went back into hospital. He started losing his hair again. He started losing weight. Unfortunately, he never came out of hospital. We lost him at the age of 23 years old. So what we had was very, very serious. And mind you, he had what they would consider the good one, and I had 2 of the bad ones. At the end of my 2.5 years of hospital visits, my doctors told me to get my affairs in order. And I made a decision at that point to take the responsibility of my health back into my own hands, something that I teach people to do from the day that I meet them. Take the responsibility of your health out of your doctor's hands and look after yourself. Because when you go to the doctors and by the time things happen, it's too late. So I went on to an alkaline diet. I spent a lot of money on nutritional supplements, super juices, antioxidants, alkaline water, clean diet, doing all these things. You would think my health would have been heading in the right direction. But 2 years doing this and looking after myself, this was the result. Nothing was working. I looked 20 to 30 years older than what I did before I started. My body was unfortunately heading downhill still, and my blood works were heading in the wrong direction. I was still in a lot of trouble with my health. This is 2014. A friend of mine called me and said, I think I found something that can help. Long story short, I got on a plane in Sydney, Australia, flew to Salt Lake City, Utah, and started on the product. In 3 hours, my body was detoxing so fast, I had toxins coming out of my skin with little red spots all over my upper torso. Next morning, continued drinking the product. I had a caffeine intolerance for 20 years. Any more than 2 coffees, buckled over with discomfort all day and bloating. That issue was gone literally overnight. The next day, 48 to 72 hours later, after starting the product, I had so much lung damage from what they put me through in that hospital. I was having trouble breathing and talking at the same time. Within 48 to 72 hours, my lungs were functioning perfect. I flew back to Australia, kept drinking the product. Fast forward 1 year on the product, and the doctors give me some really good news and told me no sign of those 2 major health challenges. This is a photo of me on that day. Not only that, multiple injuries from playing sports, which were turning into that crippling issue that people get as you get older, that had gone away. All of that had gone away. 20 years of pollen problems, sneezing, runny nose, and a list of other things that I had. So my whole body was rebuilt top to bottom in a 12-month period. Fast forward, 3 years on the product, this is a picture of me. I always like to go back to 2014, the time I started on the product. And what you're seeing here is a reflection of what was happening on the inside of me at that time. 1 year on the product, you can see me looking much better. My skin was much better. I felt much better. This is a reflection of what was going on the inside of me at that time in 2015. And then 3 years on the product, you can see my complexion, which was a reflection of what was happening on the inside of me at that time as well. So that was my story back to health, back to looking younger and feeling younger. And my journey evolved. It evolved into helping people. And fortunately for the business model behind this incredible breakthrough, I had the ability to share this with people, to receive thank you checks, and to invest those thank you checks back into my health. And if it wasn't for those thank you checks, I couldn't have afforded the amount of product that I needed for the issues that I had. So it was a business model that actually saved my life. But I mean, this has become the most satisfying thing I could ever have dreamed of doing. Helping people in this way, I could never do that or achieve that before. To leave a legacy through a traditional business, which I tried for many years, something to be remembered by, I could never achieve that either. I have a platform to do that now. As far as being successful in this business and achieving, these ranks and income, I have earned more and achieved more in the last 5 years in this business than I did in the 20 years prior in traditional business. And I built and sold some incredibly successful businesses. So what do we have here? We've got the most compelling opportunity we'll come across in our life, the opportunity to help people with health challenges, help people with financial challenges, an incredible platform, vehicle called ASEA that can do so many things for so many people. We have the solution or these solutions to a lot of people's problems. We are in a storm at the moment, but for us, it's a perfect storm. The economy's bad. The pandemic has really hurt a lot of people financially, and people in these times are always looking after their health. They'll still spend money on their health, but the thing is, we've also got this vehicle that can take people anywhere they want to go financially as well. A true home-based business where we can help support you through these calls, through our trainings, to be able to build a residual income that you can run as Julie did, parallel with what you're doing now, and build an insurance policy on the side. So if anything like this happens again to us, to the world, we've got something there that can support us even if we're not working. And with that, I'm going to hand back over to Stevie to talk about the financial opportunity in the business and how all this became about, and the SEER started, just over 10 years ago. So over to you, Stevie. Thanks for another incredible presentation, mate.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Dan. And it's great that you got Julie to tell her story. So thanks for sharing your story too, Julie. And I appreciate you both so much for being such great inspiration and support to me. So folks, with every great breakthrough comes great opportunity. And a SEER is a life-changing breakthrough. And that's created a life-changing financial opportunity behind all of this to make a living while bettering people's lives. So here we go. A SEER is the world's first and only redox signaling supplement for 2 reasons, simple reasons. 1, for nearly 3 decades now, no one other than one man, Dr. Gary L. Samuelson, medical atomic physicist, has been able to figure out how to create and stabilize redox signaling molecules outside of the body. Before Dr. Samuelson's breakthrough work, for 2 decades before that, science had declared that this was impossible. And 2, a SEER is heavily patented, but not only is a SEER not allowed to be copied, a SEER can't be copied because there's absolutely no way for you to be able to look into a bottle of a SEER and know how to reverse engineer it, because there are trade secrets in the making of a SEER. So it can't be copied. And that means we have no copycats, and that means we have no competition. No one in the world has what a SEER has, no one. And no other products in the world can do what a SEER does. None of them. Nothing else in the world can get to the depth and level of achievement in the human body as what a SEER can, because redox works on everybody. Everybody needs redox because nothing in the body works as well or at all without redox. And redox can't hurt anybody. No other product can make that claim. No juice, pills, super shake, fancy water, CBD oil, nothing. And so therefore a SEER holds massive opportunities across all health science sectors: healthcare, wellness, sports science, athletic performance, beauty, skincare, aging, longevity. These are multi-trillion-dollar industries. And again, a SEER is the only company in the world that the world can get a redox supplement from. A SEER is an entrepreneur's dream. Our mission here at a SEER is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. We can't do that on our own, and so we look for people to help spread the word. A SEER gives you the opportunity to earn money just by sharing redox with others, just by sharing this presentation, for example. Not meaning you have to do it, just send people here, right? So for people looking for either an extra or part-time or full-time or big-time or legacy-leaving income, for people who have dreams of a better life, income, lifestyle, there are levels of commissions to meet whatever levels of ambitions. To be able to afford making your goals and dreams and desires a reality, a SEER helps you create income that is both residual and leveraged. You receive a residual income from the first and all of the repeated purchases made by everyone you refer to a SEER. And because you can refer as many people as you like, the residual income potential is unlimited. On top, you also receive unlimited leveraged residual income from all of the repeated purchases made by every single person your contacts and others also refer. And there's no limits to how far and wide these referrals can go. Just like when you recommend a good movie, TV series, restaurant, cafe, book, food, homewares, beauty products, health products, whatever. People tell people who then tell even more people, and it goes on and on. Word of mouth is the oldest and still today #1 most powerful and effective form of marketing in the world. There's no limits, especially with how connected the world is today. Word spreads worldwide. The SEER is currently in 35 countries and opening new markets every year. Based on existing trends, the annual turnover is projected to exceed $500 million in the next 5 years. Residual income is impressive, but more so, it's important. You have residual bills. Why not residual income? Do you know what happens to most people by the time they're 65? Julie spoke about this just a little bit before. Out of every 100 people, only 1 is wealthy. Only 3 are financially secure. 7 must still work to survive at 65. Not working because they want to, that would be different, but working because they have to. They're a slave to the dollar. And 74 out of every 100 people are dependent on welfare by 65. So what is going wrong? What is the one main financial principle that the top 4% seem to have figured out that the other 81% didn't? It's how to make money that is no longer dependent on their paid by the hour, selling their time for money, labor intensive or own activity job, otherwise known as active income. Look, sooner or later, you won't be able to be as active as you are right now. And therefore, you won't be able to have as much active income as you have right now. Some people have learnt that sooner rather than later in today's environment that's going on around the world, right? And this may be even more concerning, and was more concerning to the people who did go through such bad times we're going through right now and said, well, look, my active income already isn't enough as it is. This is one of the biggest problems. Let me tell you, 81% of people get trapped in. Money is an excellent servant, but a terrible master. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll be a slave for money until you die. Now, I'm not saying jobs are bad. They're a great place to start for most of us. And if you truly do love your job, keep it. You're blessed. Absolutely. But still, find a way to make money outside of your job that won't interfere with what you're currently doing, because only relying on a single source of active income is not smart and dangerous to your financial security. So for people who are smart, who've been wanting to be in the right place at the right time, who are able to recognize a good thing, who decide to take control of their finances and their freedom, for people who aren't happy with the amount of money that they have or how they have to make it, for people who have dreams and want a better life, ASEA is a significant opportunity to be paid a significant residual income from the growth, the inevitable growth of its global expansion, to afford you those dreams and give you that real freedom. There's nothing better than making a living from bettering people's lives. That's what you get to do with ASEA. Who we become and what we do is the biggest reward over and above any riches it will make us. Now, you can make great money here, that's for sure. And you can even be rewarded on top with all expenses paid trips to 5-star luxury locations all around the world and have a really great time, meeting really great people, making great friends, having great experiences and a great lifestyle. But really, at the end of the day, it's the effect we have on others that is one of the most valuable currencies there is. And that is the heart of ASEA. And it was demonstrated here because the truth is, after big pharmaceutical companies were shown tens of millions of dollars and 17 years worth of powerful research, clinical studies proving ASEA, those big drug companies offered to pay huge sums of money for the sole and exclusive rights to the ASEA Redox technology. They wanted to own it. However, they wanted ASEA to shut down and take everyone off Redox. But thankfully, the founders of ASEA, Virtus and his son, Tyler Norden, had the great foresight to see grave concerns and consequences in such a deal, because Virtus and Tyler saw people who went from severe health challenges that once left them and their doctors feeling hopeless, like Danny's doctors, to then experiencing life-changing power from Redox. And when Virtus and Tyler saw this, they were filled with a great sense of purpose and responsibility to get this breakthrough for humanity out to the world. And so they couldn't, in good conscience, sell out. And so they didn't. They said no to the payout and yes to the people. For Virtus and Tyler, what had once started out as just a very big business play had now become more. The ASEA founders turned down that huge sum of money from big pharmaceutical companies, deciding to go the supplement route rather than the drug route, in order to expedite the availability of this technology globally, making it available immediately to everyone without a prescription. One of ASEA's foremost guiding principles was demonstrated here, as is perpetually demonstrated in every decision they make. And that is to always put people and principles before ego and economics. The ASEA founders and corporate team come from big backgrounds, up to Fortune 50 backgrounds. They're exceptionally experienced in running very big, profitable, household famous name companies. But their corporate soul revolves around putting people first. having an impact, making a difference, helping others to believe, belong, and become more, to be a force for good in the world. So you're in very good hands. Get back with the person who shared this with you. Let them know what stood out to you the most. If you have any questions, ask them. They can easily point you to where you can find the answers easily, because there's plenty of university studies. Most importantly, though, hundreds of thousands of real people's life-changing redox experiences for you to see. It is the real deal. Do you want to be happier and healthier? Do you want to live younger, longer? Of course, right? So you may just want to become an ASEA customer. Or do you have dreams and desires? Do you want to be, do, have, and able to give more? Do you want to help people be happier and healthier? Do you want a better life, income, lifestyle? Do you want to increase the prosperity of the planet? Do you want to make a difference in the world? Become part of this redox reality, and you can become more. If you'll just pass this information on for many, many others, you can better the lives of many, many others, and your life will become better in many, many ways. Thank you very, very much for spending this time with me. May you always be happy and well. And thank you for looking after us, Julie, and having me here again.
You're very welcome, Stevie. Thank you so much for sharing the opportunity like that. I love the way you do it. It's really cool. It's fabulous. So does anybody have any questions for us, guys?